Everybody ready? Good evening. Welcome to the early work session of the Highland Village City Council. Today is Tuesday, December the 12th, and the meeting is called to order at 6:30 p.m. Let the record show all council members are present with the exception of Councilmember Feaster. Number one on the agenda is to receive an update from the city's Regional Transportation Council representative. Mr. Brandon Jones will provide an update on this item. Councilman Jones, or is it Councilman Jones or is it Mayor Pro Tem?
Mayor Pro Tem, I've rotated off. So.
Okay.
Good.
I didn't want to demote you.
I don't know if that's a demotion, but where's the clicker here? All right. So this is my second year giving this update. Last year, I see some new faces on the council, so some of it will be repetition. Most of it will be high-level information of what we've gone through this year. Let's go ahead and of course.
I think you have to point it maybe that way. I'm not sure. There we go.
Okay. Yep, now we're in action. So the Regional Transportation Council consists of 44 members who are elected and appointed by various entities. We basically are two groups of metropolitan planning organizations, which consists of the Dallas-Fort Worth-Arlington MPO and the Denton-Louisville MPO. We've got 1 million people in Denton now, so we're growing. And as we're growing, the McKinney urbanized area is going to become an MPO with Frisco because we're getting so large. So I just wanted to show you the Denton County representatives. A little different than it was last year. T.J. Gilmore is now representing Denton County Transit Authority. Mayor Babbitt is still on there. Chris Watts is now representing the city of Denton as a council member. John Keating is the Mayor Pro Tem in Frisco. Of course, I'm in Louisville, and Judge Each represents us in Denton County. He's been doing so for the last few years. So our primary activities, we make sure that our metropolitan area complies with all state and federal laws so that we can get as many projects as we can. Part of that is dealing with programs from the EPA, dealing with the Federal Highway Transit Authority to make sure that we comply with the law so we can get the grant monies. The big thing with our North Texas COG is we try to keep shovel-ready projects. So whenever something comes up, it may not be funded this year, but if somebody cancels one, we're ready to go. So it makes us a pretty efficient COG. As opposed to other COGs that we're also competing against, but we seem to be doing a little better job. Just an update. So Congress, the 118th Congress appropriated $17 trillion, and $30 billion of that is for the United States Department of Transportation. And you better believe in Texas, we're trying to get every dollar that we can get out of there. The 88th legislature was projected to have a $32 billion balance. And they collected $155 billion in tax collections. We're trying to get that money up this way. So here's what's been going on with the RTC for the year. So there's been a little back and forth between TxDOT and our COG regarding some rule changes for Category 5 and Category 7 funds, and I'll explain what those are in the next slide. There have been new rule proposals that basically change the way that funding works. It basically has caused possibly a conflict with federal law and state law. Basically, the state wants everybody to spend the money as fast as they can, but it's conflicting with the federal laws, which gives us a little more time. So they're trying to get that worked out now. Another issue, and before I go into that, so Category 5 is congestion mitigation air quality improvement. That is EPA requirement, making sure that our air quality is where it needs to be. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go on, because that's one of the slides I have information on. Category 7 is Metropolitan Mobility Rehabilitation Funds, which is federal monies that is issued through the state. So what the state is trying to do is change those fundings, which were basically the MPOs had the right to decide which projects they're going to do, and they're trying to centralize it with the state. So that is something that is different from what has historically been done, and so they're trying to work their way through that process. So here's the kind of what the COG has presented. Everything going forward is going to be what we were presented. So one of the issues with this new plan is how the reporting is done. TxDOT has a system that they use that reports numbers one way. The COG has one that they use the federal system on how they report it. And what you're seeing in the three numbers there, that 16 million is what the TxDOT is saying we have outstanding for a project. If you look at the middle number, that is what we're saying we have outstanding, and the one to the far right, they're saying is already encumbered and is in use. So there's a conflict with the numbers that we need to get worked out before we move forward, because that's a big, $8 million is a pretty big difference in accounting. Now, going back to the ozone. So this is an area that is pretty, we're kind of in a non-attainment zone right now. But if you look at the bottom right, you'll see we're well below where the 97 standards were. However, 2008, they changed the standards again, and in 2015, they changed them again. So we're not even close to what the 2015 standards. So we're in a non-attainment process trying to get down to attainment. As one of the transportation guys told me, like, every time we try to hit the goal, they keep moving the goalpost on us. So we're trying to work to get the air quality down. We have until, I believe, August 3rd, 2024. Then we'll go into more mitigating practices to try to get down and try to get to the attainment zone, because that costs us money as far as getting transit funding. One of the ways we're trying to mitigate the air quality is electric vehicles. Now, Texas has had a lot of electric vehicles come around. I'm sure you guys see them all the time. In Dallas-Fort Worth, it increased 63% between last year and this year. We are the highest EV registration in the last year. So the plan is to find a way to build the infrastructure so that the plan is to get a charging station every 50 miles on the interstates through Texas. We'll see if that happens. We'll see how fast that happens. The next thing is our MTP policy bundle. Basically, this talks about transportation development credits. Why these are important: these credits allow local municipalities to free up money. These credits can be used in lieu of matching funds. So it allows more funds to be utilized for something that you need to use locally for a regional project that you want to develop. And you can see at the top the breakdown of the allocation process that the COG has recommended this year. I think this was in September. High-speed rail. We've heard a lot about that. That's been ongoing forever. I think it finally made a move last week. It made the news. So they're trying to, this is an older presentation, but they presented it again in October to kind of show us the phases that it's moving along. They have the corridor set up. Once they had two different companies that they were looking at. They've narrowed it down to one right now. And they're trying to get the road it's going to start at Fort Worth, go to Dallas, and then go to Houston. So they're still trying to get the land acquisitions and everything that they need, but that is ongoing too. That also is to try to keep people off the roads. This is another issue that another plan that's come forward. This is reconnecting communities. This is something, and I want to point this out because this year has not been heavily Denton County. So we have to kind of wait our turn. There's been a lot of Tarrant County, a lot of Dallas County, and that happens, and it rotates year to year. But these are some of the projects that have come up this year for creating connections between communities and revitalization areas. They're adding a new phase to Clyde 1, but this is, I guess, a project candidate. They haven't been selected yet. The Southern Gateway, I believe that's the second deck park that they're trying to put over the Dallas Zoo. Interstate 30, Farmers Market, and McKinney State Highway 5. I don't know if you guys have been to McKinney, their Old Town District. They're redeveloping. They're trying to figure out a way to get foot traffic around that Highway 5 without and letting the traffic move through. So I'm not sure that they were talking about they're going to put it underground. I don't know how they're going to do that. We'll see. But that's funding is to help them do that, because that's going to be a regional area that is really building out. And one of the things that, this was a pretty cool project that Michael Morris brought to us about a year ago, where we're partnered with the Medal of Honor Museum, their Leadership Institute. The RTC voted to give them $1.89 $5 million to support the Medal of Honor Institute. It's coming together. I think it should be about done. It looks fantastic. I would definitely suggest you go see it. It is a very awesome thing. Now, I saw your mayor the other day, and so he asked me about I-35. I will ask them for more updated information on Thursday when we do meet. So the good news is the project has started. The bad news is the project has started, and it's going to be going on for quite some time.
You're talking about 35W, right?
Oh, no.
Oh,
I'm talking about 35E.
Okay.
35, so it started, the southbound portions, that would be project 1, 2, and 3, are the bridges over Main Street, Corporate, and Business 121. So they've started already, and the side road projects have started as well. So, and if I'm being honest, it started all the way to Dallas, actually, because they're redoing the bridges and everything. So that's going to be ongoing for a little while. Going north is where you go from Project 5 to Project 11, where it goes to the Cook County line. So if you go north or south, it's going to be bad for a little while. But once it's done, it's going to clear up. Like if you were here for phase 1, after it was done, it was a little bit better. This phase 2 or 1.5, yes, ma'am?
Where's the part of all the utility relocations and that's happening from Lake Louisville up to 288?
You're outside of my pay grade on that one.
I mean, it all kicked off. That's still there too.
Yeah, I'm just giving the traffic update and as far as the lanes and the project goes. Like I said, I can ask, if you send me an email, I can ask the TxDOT officials when I see them on Thursday, on tomorrow, ask them about any of those questions that you have and see if I can get an answer for you.
I'll call them.
Okay. So that is.
So go back to that one?
Yep.
The project just so everybody knows, when I saw him at a completely unrelated event, and we were just talking, and I asked the question about, we were talking about copper in relation to Copper Branch Park, how they'll use that as a staging area when they start the expansion of the other side of 35 through here. So where in the numbers of the phases is that part of the project?
So that would be.
I can't read it.
And it's a hard. I tried to get the biggest picture I could. That would probably be closest to the Main Street project, which is number. Or is that 1171, project number 3. So that, and it looks like it's a little higher than we want it to be, but project number 3 is is down below. So that's where that connection is going to be.
They're staging, if you want to know where they're staging next to the Regal Buffet.
Right, but eventually when they start up through here, they'll stage at Copper's Branch again, is what we've been told, right, Paul? And we've always been told that's why we don't ever touch.
That's so well for them before that they would like to be able to do that again.
Yeah.
Do they rent it like they do when they do the other places?
Oh, yeah. They do.
And so I would guess that maybe project number 4, Dobbs Road in Corinth, maybe they may use that for staging then.
Okay.
But you have some time before they get full blast into that, maybe a few months. But
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even see that on this project.
Okay.
Right,
What's that?
They're relocating utilities right now.
So yeah, it's
that
all
area.
coming, and it's been.
Is the one through here to add the 3 lane? I mean, because wasn't it 5 each way? Is it to add, what lanes are we adding?
So it's supposed to add 3 lanes on the service roads. I'm looking at some of it, and I'm questioning how they're getting 3 lanes in there, but there's been 3 lanes since 2012 that they're adding on the service roads, on north and south.
I'm working on the piece that goes from Denton County into Cook County.
Okay.
Full disclosure.
Yeah, that one I don't know. It'd be nice to get that extended. I drive up there all the time.
They are extending it up just north of Valley View. They're going to add 2 service lanes and expand it to 3 lanes. Just FYI, but here they're already relocating that's how you can tell. They're already relocating the utilities. So if you see wherever the trenches are, that's how far your lanes are going to go.
Yeah, and I see it in Louis. I mean, they've already moved utilities in Louisville, but I'm looking at the service road, or at least whatever they created, and I'm like, I don't see 3 lanes in there. But I'm not an engineer. I'm an accountant, so. But
Excuse me.
You okay?
Yeah.
I've been there before.
Curiosity,
Yes, sir.
the goal was mobility. Secondary goal was to minimize ozone, help the environment, what I gathered from what you told us. You briefly spoke about regional transportation with high-speed rail, Fort Worth, Dallas, Houston. But there's no comment, no consideration, it appears, for local rail and enhancements to local rail within Denton County or within the region, actually. Nothing associated with that. Is there any conversation on enhancing rail?
So what I'll share with you is this. Last year, well, the year before last was focused heavily on DART. The year after that, it was focused heavily on Trinity Metro. So our time is coming. All right, it's not that they haven't presented what their plan is and what their funding is. They've extended funding on some projects to DCTA. It is ongoing. I know Judge Eves is big on the A train and on transit, so it's coming. It's just one of those things where we have to kind of wait our turn and work the process and figure out what we need. We now have a new president at DC. Well, not new, but he's been here for a while. But that's working with the COG to get what we need for DCTA. So we allow them to work with the staff, and the staff comes around and they're constantly looking for funding for different things.
Well, I know COG they work where the highest density is to relieve the mobility issues. So what you're telling me is
That's not
they worked
necessarily
with
the
Dallas
case.
County, Tarrant County. Now the growth is coming this way, and they're starting to work towards.
That's not necessarily the case. What they have, like the Dallas and the Fort Worth districts are the biggest districts. So they try to find a balance percentage-wise with each district. And then within each MPO, they try to find balance within projects that way. So it's a constant balancing act, and it's a constant, I don't know. The best way I can tell you is it's like the wheel of fortune. You're waiting for your time to come around. I believe we last year, and I think I still have it up there. They finally got around to the Denton County Transit Study, and they got that finished. So they know what our needs are, and we're working toward that. I just don't have anything to report to you right now on what we have.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
On the high-speed rail from Dallas to Houston, have they overcome their lack of eminent domain?
I think I can't speak on the going down to Houston. I'm not sure.
Okay. I just know that was the biggest hurdle, is their hands are tied, and they can't take taxpayer-funded money.
It seems like they're working their way around that because everything that I'm hearing in the news sounds like it's going full speed ahead, but I can't tell you what's going on outside of our COG, because I understand what you're saying. Once you get south, heading toward Houston, you have a lot of farmland out there, so I'm not sure how they're acquiring that.
You said that I'm sorry, go ahead.
My next question would that we passed a $900 million bond for the county, does that hinder, and does it make money available to other places that didn't pass bonds? Is that why we're not seeing as much funding?
Well, so what the COG does is they come in and they try to fill gaps for areas where the funding is not complete. The bond, sometimes they ask for matching fund, or the federal grants ask for matching funds. So that's where they use those credits to try to create the matching funds, or the county bond, or a city may do a bond where they try to help match those funds in areas where they see that the road or whatever they're building is something that is regionally important. I'm trying to think.
I can't think of a more regionally important road than I-35.
Oh, I completely agree.
So I-35 was funded, at least from the COG's perspective, a couple of years ago. So they've been building up that money with TxDOT. I remember in 2012, I was asking, I'm like, well, when is, because it was phase one, then phase 1.5, and then phase 2. And I remember asking, I'm like, so when are we going to get this completely done? And this was in 2013, and they told me, like, you better hang on because it's going to be a while. Because
They started planning, when I was on the trail committee here, they started planning in 2006, 2007, because that's when Copper's Branch came online.
Okay.
And it started to come up for discussion,
Yeah, I
and
remember
they had to build all that funding up. They had to build, all that, and COG does, passing bonds can hurt or help you. I'm on a review committee for COG and some stormwater stuff, so we see how the money gets, but it's those who help themselves that sometimes shoot you in the foot.
You said a few minutes ago that in terms of the rail, there were 2 companies that were, I guess, in competition.
and I forget, Hyperloop is based out of California. Virgin has that one.
Is that the one that's doing
No.
the one in California?
Yeah, that's the one that's, I guess, going from Las Vegas or planning a Hyperloop from Las Vegas to LA. They have a training facility. I got to see that at one of the city summits in Los Angeles. It's basically a high-pressure tube with electronic magnets that propel it. It's pretty cool, but if you're claustrophobic, you may not want to get on it. But at the time, this is 2018, they had the mock-up stage. They weren't running the tests, I think, until like a year later in Nevada. Any other questions?
Anybody?
Well, if you guys have any questions or if you think of anything, my email is in the front, and I can leave you with my card. You can shoot me an email. I may not have the answers. Ms. Hurst obviously knows.
I'm a civil engineer.
Okay, so that is.
We do city engineering, county engineering, and so transportation planning, all that stuff. So, but I like to hear the finite stuff that happens here.
Is your presentation, is it shareable?
It's in PowerPoint. I sent it to your city secretary.
Okay, yeah. All right, thank you.
You guys can have that, and I'll leave you with my card, and hope you guys have a good meeting. It's not as active as the last time I was here last year.
It's going to be quick and quiet tonight.
Like I said, if you want to update, you can go to the RTC site. We're meeting Thursday, but if you have anything, feel free to shoot me an email, and if I don't have the answer, I can find somebody that get the answer for you.
Thank you, sir. I've already got one, so
Okay.
I know where to find you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I know where to find you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Good evening.
You too, thanks. Next on the agenda, clarification of consent or action items listed on today's City Council meeting agenda for December 12th. Anybody have anything they need clarified or have questions about?
Yeah, let me go look. I slept since then.
This may wind up being the quickest work session we've ever had, at least in the last 7 years. No? Anybody? Rhonda?
Unless you want to move some of the action items up into the consent.
Every council has that prerogative.
What are they? Hold on, let me go to the agenda.
I mean, let's take, without any discussion, item number 14, I think is a no-brainer.
I would agree.
But wouldn't they want to do their presentation to show the public what cool thing is going to happen? I mean, we can approve it, but can't they still, this is their time
Is there
to
a
shine.
presentation for item 14?
Excuse me, Whitney the Fight's not going to be here tonight,
Oh, okay.
so.
Okay.
Can you give us a quick, this is how much it is and all, just so we know?
Yeah,
'Cause-
sure can. And in fact, I'm glad you asked about that. I do recall years ago when we knew we were going to get these opioid settlement funds, the question was, how do we spend it? And, as a city, we're not equipped to do a lot of those things. Nonprofit like Winning the Fight, it's a perfect fit for that. And I've had discussions with the Attorney General's office to make sure everything's okay, and it is. And so what Kathy O'Keefe with with winning the fight, what she would like to do is really concentrate on Highland Village schools for this education. They would do student training and staff training at Marcus, staff and parents and families training at Briar Hill Middle School, and then the staff for all the elementary schools. And this, of course, is just over $15,000. That's the allotment that we've received so far. We do know that eventually we'll receive just over $50,000. Initially, there were 2 other settlements. We still don't have those amounts yet, and there may be other settlements in the future. So it is an excellent way to use this funding to let them do that opioid education for us.
Want to move that one? I wouldn't want to move number 15. See what the chief's got to say.
Okay. So everybody good with that, moving 14 on consent?
I agree. Yeah.
Okay, we can do that. All right, anything else? Last call. All right, with that, early work session is adjourned at 6:55. We'll see everybody in when are we kicking off? 7. 7?
Yeah.
Everybody in 4 minutes. Y'all ready? Good evening. Welcome to the regular session of the Highland Village City Council. Today is Tuesday, December the 12th. The meeting is called to order at 7:01 p.m. Let the record show all council members are present with the exception of Councilmember Feaster. Please join Mayor Pro Tem Kixmiller in leading us in the prayer and pledge.
Let's bow our heads. Dear Heavenly Father, as we come together as a community, we express our gratitude for the blessings that surround us, especially during this joyous time of year. We thank you for the gift of love, compassion, and the spirit of giving that fills our hearts. As we celebrate the birth of hope and renewal, we lift up our city and its residents. May the light of the season shine brightly in every corner of our community, bringing comfort and joy to those who may be facing challenges. In this season of generosity, we extend our thoughts and prayers to our first responders, the brave men and women who selflessly dedicate their lives to protecting and serving our community. Grant them strength, courage, and resilience in the face of adversity. May they find support and appreciation from the very community they so valiantly safeguard. We also ask your guidance and protection over our city, its leaders, and all inhabitants. Watch over us, especially during these times when safety and well-being are paramount. May harmony and understanding prevail among us, fostering an environment where compassion and empathy thrive. In the spirit of unity, let us remember that we are bound together by the ties of community and shared humanity. As we move forward, may we carry the spirit of Christmas with us, extending goodwill and kindness to one another, working together to create a city that is safe, vibrant, and inclusive. We offer this prayer with gratitude for the past, hope for the present, and faith in a future filled with promise. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to thee,
Texas,
one state
under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, sir. So next we'll move into item number 7, mayor and council reports. The mayor and the council can report on items of community interest pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.0415. The city council may report on the following: expression of thanks, congratulations, or condolences, information about holiday schedules, recognition of individuals, reminders about upcoming city council events, information about community events, and announcements involving imminent threat to public health and safety. Does anybody have anything they want to report?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
You know me. I just want to thank the fire department for the opportunity to ride with them with Santa in the fire truck. If they haven't made it in your neighborhood, you will hear them come. I saw Councilmember Kixmiller and his family out there. It's so awesome that makes our city unique. This has been around, I think, since the early 70s. And it's something that no other city does every single year. And the joy in our residents, no kids either, from 0 to 99, and even with their pets holding them. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It was an honor. And shout out to Rosie and Benjamin, 2 and 4. They were my co-pilots, and they were awesome. Lastly, recently, thank you, City Manager. If you are struggling with your 96-pound or 96-gallon trash cans and need extra assistance, there is a program through Republic Waste, and just contact the city, and they'll help you out. That's it.
I want to echo your comments about the fire truck ride with Santa. I had mine last night, and it was the last time I will do it as a member of council, and they made it an incredible experience. There were a fiance and a wife with some kids on board, and we had a blast and got to take a picture afterwards, and it was just I've enjoyed it every year, and I've managed to, after 7 years, I've managed to be able to go through every neighborhood in the city. It's just a great experience. So if you haven't done it yet, I highly encourage you to do it. So thank you to that. Anybody else have anything they wanted to share?
Well, I just want to do a quick shout out to the entire city staff, Parks and as the lead for Christmas at the Ranch. It was a phenomenal event. I mean, couldn't have had a better day, but the turnout was incredible. Just incredible. I know it took every department. And then wind down at the Grinch. I saw Andrea was down there, as well as other staff members doing every job that needed to get done on Friday night. So again, kudos to the staff for everyone who participated to make it good for the city and safe for the city.
I want to echo that real quick for the amazing race, which, by the way, no one else had a team out there. Our first year to do it. It was my parents, my kids, and my husband. We came in 8th place, second Highland Village team. It was so much fun. I encourage everyone to participate, but the staff was awesome at Odark 30, at Doubletree Ranch, and you guys did a great job. I mean, it was really fun, and it was fun. I encourage everyone to do it, but it was, thank you. You guys, they can pull things off great.
Anybody else?
Yeah, just one thing. I'd like to thank the fire department and the police department for another successful Step the Cruiser.
Oh.
My wife and I, and the police auxiliary, a lot of them were out there helping as well, but my wife and I were out there for the past 2 weekends helping them out, and it was just, the generosity of our community, Highland Village residents, is unbelievable this time of year, so kudos to those guys. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody that participated in the Red Kettle campaign a couple Saturdays ago, too. That was, I haven't seen any numbers yet, but I know that the period of time that I was there, it was very busy. A lot of donations. We've also got the Mayor's Challenge going on online. I'll just say this really quietly. I disclosed this at my coffee last week, some subterfuge in this contest. I did post my fundraising link on Mayor Gilmore and Mayor Francis' Facebook pages. So anybody following them, if they clicked on the link, they're donating to my part of the cause. I will say Mayor Gilmore caught on and posted his link too, but I think Mayor Francis is still slow to the game. But no, that's still going on. So if anybody does feel the urge to donate to a great cause and has the ability, that money is money that's spent right here in our community. We have about 1 in 3 households in Denton County are struggling financially, and that's where the Salvation Army can step in and lend a hand. So all the money that's donated to that Red Kettle Challenge literally stays here in our community. So I think there's still another week or so left in that challenge. So if you can donate, please do. The other thing I want to do is a public pat on the back to Briar Hill Middle School. Both the boys, the 8th grade boys and 7th grade girls cross country teams won district just a couple of weeks ago. So I want to congratulate them on that. So last call. Anybody else got anything? All right, item number 8, city manager and staff reports. Mr. Stevens.
Mayor, just a couple items. First, I do want to thank you all for your kind comments about the police department, fire department, parks, public works. They really can. They can pull off just about any event. So thank you all for participating in those. The only other one I did want to mention, with Christmas coming up and New Year's coming up, our garbage pickup schedule will be a little bit different. Monday will be, of course, Christmas Day and New Year's Day. So everything will move a day. So Monday, which is normally our leaves and landscape brush pickup day, will move to Tuesday. Your Tuesday route will move to Wednesday, and so forth. So that'll be for the week of Christmas and the week of New Year's.
All right.
And then we do have a village report. So
Let's roll it.
I'm Taylor with Experience Highland Village, and I love all things games. Well, guess what? I am with the expert of all games, Dr. A with B Legend Gaming.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, you are a doctor of bariatric surgery. Your wife, Irene, is a doctor of immunology and a nurse, and you have lots of businesses in and around North Texas. But you're doing gaming.
Yes.
What gives?
I just felt like if you work so hard, at some point you have to also kick back and relax and do something a little less serious.
Oh, and fun.
Yes.
Absolutely fun. Well, tell me about B Legend Gaming. What is here and what can people experience when they come visit?
So B Legend Gaming has a little bit of everything for everyone. We have old school gaming like Frogger.
Yeah, that's me.
Pac-Man, stuff like that. And then if you're a console gamer, we have the PlayStation 5. We have the Xbox, the Nintendo Switch as well.
Okay.
And, classically, console gamers are always arguing with PC gamers on which system is better. So we can have you come here and try and settle that argument by having some PC games as well. And I think more recently, virtual reality has really taken off. That's the latest frontier in gaming. And what we have is a unique virtual reality experience here. It's called the Omni Arena, and it's 4 players at the same time running around in a virtual space. But don't blame me if you get hooked on it.
Well, surely you're not leaving the kids here to starve. There's some food, right?
No, we do not want anybody to starve here at Legend Gaming. We have pizza, burgers, paninis, multiple flavors of chicken wings, mozzarella sticks, salads for folks that would rather not, indulge. And so we have food, drinks, and excellent gaming.
What was it about Highland Village that was attractive to you that caused you to want to place Be Legend Gaming right here?
Yeah, it's just a sense of community, honestly. I went to medical school here in Dallas, and then I was in Richmond for a while. And then I came back to Dallas. And after looking around, we decided we wanted to live in Highland Village because of the community. It's kind of like a diamond in the rough. It's a close-knit group of people. We've made excellent friends here. And when I do things, I like to do things in my community. I like to doctor in my community. I like to entertain. So it's really about, being around people you enjoy being around and contributing to society in a positive way.
That is so good. Well, you have things here for parents as well. You've got a full-service bar and great food.
Absolutely.
And retro games,
Yes,
right?
yes.
With that, I am definitely going to have to go play some VR games myself. Thank you for talking with us, Dr. A. We greatly appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks for coming in. I hope to see everyone here shortly.
Sure. Well, I'm Taylor, and I've been having fun here at Be Legend Gaming in Highland Village.
I'll just add to Be Legend Gaming. They also have a program where your kids, you can make sure that you can drop them off there after school, and they'll make them do their homework before they let them play video games. So pretty good place, yeah. All right, moving on to item number 9, visitor comments. Anyone wishing to address City Council must complete a speaker's request form and return it to the City Secretary. In accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, the City Council is restricted in discussing or taking action on items not posted on the agenda. Action on your statement can only be taken at a future meeting, and in order to expedite the flow of business and to provide all visitors the opportunity to speak, the mayor may impose a 3-minute limitation on any person addressing the City Council. Ms. Miller, anybody sign up to speak? All right, moving on. Move on to consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda are considered for approval by a single motion and a vote without discussion. Each council member has the option of removing an item from this agenda so that it may be considered separately, and or adding any item to the action agenda to be considered as part of the consent agenda items. Those items on consent tonight include item number 10, consider approval of minutes of the regular City Council meeting held on November 14th, 2023. Item number 11, consider ordinance 2023-1310, adopting amendments to the fiscal year 2023-2024 budget. This is a second and final read. Item number 12, receive budget reports for period ending September 30th, 2023. And then we moved to item number 14, consider resolution 2023-3104, authorizing negotiation and execution of a grant agreement with Winning the Fight for Drug Education Programming relating to the use of opioids and authorizing the use of opioid lawsuit settlement funds for such grant agreement. Is there any discussion needed for any of the agenda items? And I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion that we approve the consent agenda items 10, 11, 12, and adding 14.
All right, is there a second?
I second.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Fiorenza and a second by Councilmember Hurst. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries 6-0. All right, we did not meet in closed session, and we've already, yes, sir? What did I miss?
Item 15.
Oh, that's closed session. We didn't meet in closed session.
No, but,
Item 13.
okay, never mind, I jumped ahead. I didn't read ahead.
Yeah. No,
My
we're good.
bad.
We're good. No,
Yeah,
you're good.
yep.
Okay, so we already did 14 on consent, so moving on to item number 15, consider resolution 2023-3106, authorizing negotiation and execution of a multi-year agreement for the purchase of police body-worn and vehicle cameras, tasers, and virtual reality training system from Axon Enterprises through the city's cooperative purchasing agreement with the local government purchasing cooperative or BI board. Chief Ryan.
Mayor, Council, I don't like reading the agenda brief to you, but basically we entered a 5-year contract with Axon for all of our equipment that you mentioned already. And as you know, prices usually rise. We had an opportunity back then to enter a 10-year agreement at that time to lock in prices. It was new. Most of those systems were new to us and not sure, but after a generous offer by them over this last few months to lock in those prices, we presented it to finance, who looked at those numbers and said, yay, it's probably a really good deal for us to lock them in for the next 8 years. So it moves our current 5-year contract to an 8. You do have the option to say no, hold on the 5, and then when it expires, we renegotiate those and take our chances for those costs, or lock them in for a hopeful another 8 years where probably none of us are in these positions anymore. So it makes it pretty easy for those future people to get reliable, newer equipment. I mean, some of the things you don't, if you weren't part of that contract, it gives us state-of-the-art replacements throughout the time of those contracts for body cameras, for our tasers, for our virtual training equipment, and our in-car camera systems, which include license plate readers in them. So I would recommend approval of moving to the 8-year contract if asked.
Does the contract allow for updated equipment should the technology improve during the contract period? Or is that going to wait till the...
We're actually slotted for those agreements already ahead where they plan to release new equipment. It replaces our stuff.
During the term of the contract?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody else? Will entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve agenda item 13, resolution 2023-3115. I'm sorry. Recommend we approve agenda item number 15. Consider resolution 2023-3106, authorizing negotiation and execution of a multi-year agreement for the purchase of police body-worn and vehicle cameras, tasers, and virtual reality training systems from Axon Enterprises.
All right, a motion by Deputy Mayor Pro Tem Fiorenza. Does anybody have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Councilmember Nelson. Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries 6-0. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. Merry
Into
Christmas.
late work session. Anybody have anything for status reports or future agenda items they want to discuss? Going once? All right, we stand adjourned at 7:20.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Hope you all have a Merry Christmas.